Good morning, face. Here's mine. How you guys doing today? Everyone doing all right? Jeff, Ingmar, Hugo, Alexander's always the first one in the house. Paul, how are you? Alexander, you're the first one in, sitting down in your desk in the classroom. Yeah, discipline. Jeff Hansen, how are you? Zaid, nice to meet you. Okay, let's take a look around. Okay, well, that's what we were talking about in here. Good for you, John. All right. So a couple of recommendations I made yesterday also panned out pretty good. You guys know I'm bullish a dollar here, right? We've been talking bullish dollar, bullish dollar. Okay, so first one was crude, WTI. This could end up being a pretty significant top at the 74 level. I think you could look to sell rips now with stops over the high of the move. This was yesterday's daily. So take a look at some type of sell. Let me get out of the way now. Okay, so we're cutting through the 9-day, and the 50-day comes in all the way back down around this high. This would be a natural place for it to come back to. Okay, big positive divergence on the 2-hour. You mean here, down here? Because this was a pretty classic 3 drive, right? 1, 2, 3. So, I'm going to go with the topping action here. Also, yesterday I talked about EG at the 75 level. So, you didn't get rich, but it was a good trade. You should take partial profits and now keep your stop under 70. If we could start closing back over 86.10, I still think there's a chance that we could get a move back up towards clear out some of these stops, buy stops here, buy stops here, buy stops here. But protect yourself with BE stops now. Okay, Hugo, maybe you need to log out and log in because I'm pretty sure everyone else sees the chart.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Hugo. So, Stell, I'm glad you're here. I wanna ask you something, and Steve too.
Anything, man.
Okay. Remember when silver was bottoming a long time ago, and they'd have these they would open silver like 50 cents lower, but you never saw a trade there. Then by the time it was through, the candle was through, you'd have these big wicks. Remember that when it was bottoming?
Yes.
Someone would it was almost like someone offered it and there were no bids. And then the first buyer took it all the way back up. VIX is displaying the same type of characteristic with these wicks here. To me, this smacks of accumulation. This stuff, even though we're making new lows, and here's a 3 right here. So just
All these lower wicks, big lower wicks,
yeah,
they definitely don't look bearish. So it's
yeah,
exactly like you say. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, just something to keep in mind. I doubt if you would have been able to buy it at 1420 or 1430 or down here in these wicks. So I don't know what they're playing the same games they were playing in silver. And it wasn't long after that, maybe it took a few months of them doing this, that silver broke out and turned good. Okay, Hugo, great. Um, Looking at the metals, they're trying to bring back the gold. The only positive thing I could say about metals right now is that we might be getting closer to a reaction based upon what some of the miners are doing now. Like, the miners look pretty lousy, but we might be getting a second drive. We are diverging on GDX. Um, let's see here. Newmont, maybe it's bottoming, but you're starting to get some, two drives here. You're getting the second drive. So gold hasn't made a new low. So, and, the shares were weaker than the bullion, which was kind of a sign that we might get a sell off in gold. Well, now it's starting to try and turn by posting lower lows, but look at the glaring divergence here. So just something else for bears to keep in mind, because even if gold is bad, I can't be a seller down here. I could be a seller up here, and maybe a buyer down here. Well, I know a lot of people looking for 1740, but for a turnaround Tuesday shot, it's probably not a bad shot. Risking the lows and seeing if we could get some type of rally here in the gold. Maybe we're going to do it from here. Also, the silver even looks a little better. All right, see, didn't get back to the prior lows. So whenever I'm looking at a sector, I always try and diagnose the relative strength between them, so I know which one to buy if I'm looking for a rally, and which one is short if I'm looking for continuation decline, and look at the difference between gold and silver. Okay. So silver to me could be also a decent turnaround Tuesday prospect. Okay. GDX equals gold and oil. Okay. So that I'm not familiar with that type of correlation, but I don't know. Oil has been a strong performer where the precious metals haven't. So GDX, I thought were just senior miners. Oh, they use oil. Okay, they use oil to, yeah, energy. All right, that's I don't know how strong of a correlation is. I certainly wouldn't trade off it. Okay, so but that's me. If it works for you, Sanse, keep doing it. Whatever works for you guys, keep repeating, and what isn't working for you guys, eliminate. That's just the process of trading. You trade and you notice what you're doing working, stick with it. If I just and I know it's easier said than done. If I just traded 3 drives and nothing else, I'd probably have a higher hit rate. So trade what you know. um Nice turn in Bitcoin, even better turn in Ethereum. So Blake, you bought the bottom yesterday, on its way to 7,000, according to John Netto, one of the unknown market wizards. And I will say this about John during his interview, and it was in here. He said, even if it pulls back to the prior low, um, that would be another great buying opportunity. So that's what it did. When Bitcoin, so here's another relative strength lesson. I'll turn it over to Blake. So Bitcoin made a lower low. Ethereum made a higher low. Okay. And it was the same thing in Canada and the dollar that last week when the dollar Dixie was retesting this low right here. See this right here, right here. I noticed that Canada put in a higher low. Okay, so that's a different character in the market. So look for little subtle things when you're trading to identify the relative strength and weakness, and you'll notice if you do that correctly, it's more forgiving. If you're long the relative strength and you're early, you won't decline as much as the relative strength, and if you're short the relative weakness, it will not squeeze you as much on the upside as if you're shorting the leader. So simple stuff, but important stuff. Good morning, Blake Morrow. How are you, buddy?
Fine. Just trying to find the unmute button. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay, buddy. So a little
So
follow through in the dollar.
a little bit, but you know, the thing is if you're long the dollar right now, I think this is where you have to be careful. The reason why I say that is I think that we are now starting to push off. We're starting to push the 618 retracement in the dollar for like a lot of pairs. So I think the dollar will probably stop here. This is where we more than likely we're going to start consolidating ahead of, you know, the jobs report.
NFP.
The jobs report is going to be the driver of price moving forward, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, I'm actually I was pretty surprised that Ethereum continued to rally, but I think it's going to get stalled up here, and I actually think Bitcoin's going to get you know, pushing into some pretty key resistance at this point as well. So and you know, I want to talk a little bit about this really quick. You know, you talk about cryptocurrencies, and you know, I was reading the piece from HSBC yesterday about how, you know, it's not going to be the end of the dollar, and you know, crypto is not going to be, you know, it's not going to take over, you know, as the world currency, and but it's just, you know, gold and the dollar have coexisted as, you know, in the same world for many, you know, many years, and the thought is that, you know, that's probably going to happen with cryptos to a certain extent. You know what I mean? It's just going to be another asset class that, you know, you have to, I have to make sure I express this as, you know, I have to express this and make sure you guys all understand this. Institutionally, there is buy-in, and Wall Street now has another vehicle to sell. Right, Dale?
Wall Street has another
vehicle to
class
sell.
to play.
They have another asset
to
class
sell.
that they can trade, they can sell it, they can make money off of it.
They can milk it.
They can milk it for all it's worth. Unless there's a fundamental flaw with crypto, it's not going anywhere. There are going to be, I firmly believe that most of the coins that you see will disappear, that are out there. I firmly believe that. I do believe there will be survivors. I do believe that technology behind cryptocurrencies will be here to stay. I think that there will be a massive shakeout, and you're going to be fortunate if you're holding the right ones. I truly believe that. But unless the technology is somehow flawed that no one sees right now, which it can be. I mean, you know, I'm just telling you guys my opinion. I just don't think they're going anywhere. And I'm hoping there is some sort of massive shakeout, because you want to be there, and you want to be there with, you know, cash ready when there is some sort of fallout. But I look at, like, you know, what's happening right now with price action. Yeah, we're seeing a bounce in Ethereum. This is not aggressive. Let me just, you know, show you the difference between aggressive and non-aggressive. Okay, this is non-aggressive. That is aggressive.
Steve interrupting us is aggressive. Yeah.
Huh?
Oh,
Steve interrupting my thought process is very
aggressive. Yeah.
Forex Gal said, yeah, just another game they can play. That's right. It's Wall Street will sell this, and they're going to milk the crap out of it. Like Stelios just said, that is going to be the difference. And, you know, again, you just have to look at them as trading vehicles now. And, you know, has the big money been made in crypto? I think for now it has. And if you're expecting to buy Ethereum and make, you know, 150% from here, I think you're going to be, you know, I think that's a tough sell. You know, I don't like, I'm looking at Ethereum right now. I don't think it's going to 5,000 anytime in the near future. Yeah, I think your better bet is it's probably going to like 700, and then you're going to be able to play it, you know, 700 to 800, and you're going to be able to play it back to 2,500. I think that's going to be like the the gist of it, or you take Bitcoin, you can buy it at 20,000 and be able to sell it again at 35,000, something like back where we're at right now. Like you look at Bitcoin, we are up against resistance. We're up against 200 period moving average in the 4-hour chart, 618 retracements right here. I think we are up against a lot of resistance. So just be careful chasing this stuff around. If you're going to trade anything, as I explained during the Trader Fest presentation this weekend, let the market come to you. Pick the spots, the confluence levels that you want to trade at, and wait for it. Okay, that's what I think you should be doing. Now, there was a couple comments about gold. We were talking about this in the chat room about the Basel III. Requirements. That was announced last week about banks having to hold some physical versus anyway. We started getting in a conversation. The one thing I have to accentuate here is and I think the point was hey, maybe this is kind of bullish for gold, and Stelios, you can chime in here if you want, but that was announced last week, right? That's the chatter.
The Basel III thing, that's known for months. That's going to happen yesterday.
Yeah, but like requirement announcements were like coming for like the last week, and so let's think about that for a second. You just said out of your mouth, it's been known for the last month, right?
It's all priced in.
Right. And one of the guys in our chat room is like, yeah, well, maybe the market's digesting it. I don't know. I've watched these pros on the street go, and they don't unless it's like a big monumental shift. I don't know how much they tend to think on things. It's maybe you might get a day of mulling things over, but a lot of times it's all about getting involved. Anyway, I look at gold and it's just not acting well. It really isn't. We're near pretty key support. This is the level that if you guys do our morning edge analysis with us every day, I think this number on gold has been prevalent for the last 2 weeks, maybe. And 1755, if we break that, I wouldn't want to be long gold. I just wouldn't. I don't think it, technically we point a lot lower than 1755. I mean, the 78% retracement comes in at 1730, but there's a risk that we could really, have a full-on failure, especially failing back below the 200-day moving average, not making new trend highs. I know traders that are stuck long gold right now, and they're long, and they're still long, and they're like, you know what I mean? I don't know if they, it's been a couple of days since I've talked to them, but regardless, you get stuck, and then the market's just not bouncing for you. So you got to be really careful with precious metals here. As much as Stelios loves them, that doesn't mean anything.
I actually think we have a big risk on Friday. I think we have a big risk of a surprise, which is going to bring metals lower. I think gold may be going $100 lower to that support.
Yeah,
1675.
I have to point out regarding the dollar. The dollar.
Can I just say one more thing before people get agitated?
Please
I'm still very bullish in the medium term, so I'm going to use that as an opportunity to buy more. But I think we're at the risk of going lower.
Okay. Yeah. I don't disagree with you, and I can't get out of my head the dollar index and how strong it is, right? And how shallow the pullbacks have been, how the 200-day moving average and the dollar index continues to hold, how the flag patterns, it's very, what's the term I'm looking for at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning? It's very by the book. the term I'm looking for. Anyway, you guys know what I'm thinking. So it's very textbook. Jesus, think I can't. No help, by the way. It's very textbook right now, and I mean that sets up for a big dollar breakout. And when you hear Stelios saying, "Hey, I could see $100 move lower in gold," that's scary. That's scary stuff. When you have Stelios thinking, "Man, we could see a really big sell-off in gold." I mean, look at the dollar. Remember, the dollar's we break above this 92.50, and that's open. This becomes really open skies for the dollar at this point, because it's a triangle breakout. We're hitting basically nearing new highs of the year, and then think about all the poor positioning right now in the dollar index. I mean, we could really be trading around 94.50. I know Dale, you were saying, hey, the $95 level doesn't look bad in the dollar index, right?
I like your 1.618 up there.
Yeah, I mean, what I have to reiterate, the entire market was bearish dollars going into this year. The entire market. The biggest trade of 2021 was the euro going back to 140. That's it. Paul said the flag is textbook, but it is not launched yet. Well, no kidding. It hasn't launched yet, Paul. Why do you think it hasn't launched yet? Who's going to take that risk in front of the non-farm payroll with last two jobs data is coming in weaker than expected? What institution is going to do that?
Lehman Brothers. Oh no, wait.
The fact of the matter is the dollar's holding up really well, right? And so you got to imagine, if we have a beat, everybody's going to step into long dollar. Of course everybody sees this. Everybody sees that the dollar is very buoyant right now. So you slap on a good piece of data, and this is not out of the question. Right there. So anyway, I mean, you would be an absolute moron right now to step in with big money in front of the jobs report. No institution, no risk, no risk manager is going to do that. Nobody. Not with serious money. I mean,
Bugsy Siegel would when he was in Vegas a long time ago.
Yeah, maybe, I guess. Yeah. But anyway,
but he got killed anyway.
The thing you have to imagine is the dollar is holding up well. Gold looks weak, and we're coming into what could be a surprise. So why that is all very important when you mix it all together, because if I do start to double up on my dollar positions going into Friday afternoon, Friday morning after non-farm payroll, if it's a strong number, I'll add to those positions. I'll gladly stick with them, because if you've got people that are chasing the dollar higher now, and that stronger data could be give you a stronger US dollar, then on top of that, stronger data could mean weaker stocks, and weaker stocks will just accentuate the dollar strong positioning. It all adds up. So look, if you're a dollar bull, the best thing you can ask for this Friday is a strong piece of data or strong employment data, right? That would be it. So anyway, just some food for thought going into this week. But we still have a lot of data coming out this week. I mean, you look at you look at our calendar of what we got going on. I mean, today, we don't have anything really going on today, do we? Case-Shiller, house price index. I mean, actually, that's probably, you should be watching that data a little closer, because housing has been on such a tear. But we've got ADP tomorrow. We got PMIs coming in tomorrow, like Chicago PMI. Then you go into Thursday, we should have some services PMI, or the ISM manufacturing PMI, excuse me. We have, jobless claims, and then we have the non-farm payroll the next day. I mean, we're getting a lot of data ahead of Friday. So anyway, Stelios, Steve, good morning, gents. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, go off on a little bit of a tangent there, but
no worries.
How you doing today?
Steve is picking up his son, so it's just me. I just wanted to just to put a little say something more about metals. I've been long gold, silver, and miners, and I was up 10-15% at some point, where I'm now back down to where I was when I entered the position, so roughly flat. And when I entered, I thought, this is the size I want to be long. I only took half the size because I thought, if we do get a pullback, I want to add. So I'm waiting for that pullback. And if we do get $100 lower in gold, we're going to get a similar move in silver and miners, and I think that's going to be my trigger to go full size long.
Got it.
Now,
and that's interesting. It's interesting that you point that out. Hey, Kevin just said it's also the end of second quarter tomorrow and end of the month.
It is.
Yeah, it is. And just so you guys know, I'm hearing that there's some dollar selling coming in for end of quarter, end of month, but nothing like too out of the not anything like super aggressive. Sometimes you get these end of month, end of quarter reads that are like hey, you need to start paying attention. But I've found that end of month and end of quarter data has been, or our indications have been really wrong this last year. So just take it with a grain of salt. Follow your charts, that type of thing. But and just so you guys know, Steve is out, as Stelios pointed out. He'll be back for the FACE webinar, or for the Morning Edge. And guys, just if you want to join that, remember our Morning Edge webinar, the daily roundup that I do, going through the bias chart every day and finding all these levels and what our biases are for each of these pairs, is done every day in about 45 minutes from now. And you only have to be a premium, or a light subscriber to join. It's $19 a month. Now, obviously the premium subscribers, you get into the chat rooms and everything else, but and you get more of the advanced analysis and patterns in play and stuff. But if you want to come in and listen to the daily roundup in about 4 hours time with me, or the European crossover with Pauly, you gotta be a light subscriber at least. And that's, again, it's $19 a month. It's we made it affordable. We made it affordable so you guys can listen in. Steve will be there. He's not here because as we all are dealing with COVID and school closings and yada yada yada, his son's in summer camp, which it really screws up with his shuttling back and forth, doesn't it, Stella?
Yes, it does. Yeah, same here actually. But it's okay. It's okay. We work around it.
We tried to do our best. So
one more thing I wanted to say before we give it back to Dale. Something that's becoming a little bit more of an issue lately is this Delta variant of COVID. I'm feeling it personally because my brother is supposed to be coming here from the UK in 2 weeks' time. We're supposed to have holidays together, and many countries are now closing their borders to the UK, or they're not accepting tourists. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this is not going to be done in the next 2 weeks for our country. But just jokes aside, this is this variant is seems to be a little bit more let's say dangerous than the original, and it's getting a little bit scary again. And I really do hope we don't get the same situation like last summer, where things almost kind of opened up and then we just closed down after summer again. We had another winter of this crap. So
well, I'll tell you, Stelios, if you lived here where I live, no masks have been worn for a long time, and you know what, we're just fine. We lose people all the time. It's all right. It's kind of like war, we just lose some, and
war. Good God!
What
is it good for? Absolutely
nothing.
Anyway,
exactly.
No, it's I know a lot of people are starting it. There's a lot of chatter about the Delta variant, and I like you. I mean, look,
I thought they were talking about options.
What's that?
The Delta and the options. Delta, Gamma, Theta. Greek stuff, right? Still.
Yeah.
So just to take a quick look really, really fast at like the euro dollar and the euros, flag patterns. You can see the cable. By the way, our overnight analysis, we were just looking at the 618 retracement and the sterling, and as soon as that gave way, we've pushed lower towards the 138 level. We should find some supports here. I would assume that these flag patterns that you see here, I'm just going to make the assumption, because again, it's big data coming out this week. I have a feeling we're going to be doing something like this. So just be really careful chasing the dollar higher, unless for some reason you start to see the equity markets like really, like fall for some odd reason. And if they do, then obviously the dollar is going to catch a bid. But for right now, I mean, with especially the ADP jobs report tomorrow, with non-farm on Friday, some PMIs coming out, and ISMs, just be careful getting too aggressively long the dollar. I know some of you are probably trying to position yourself long the dollar, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just, be careful if you're not long already, is what I'm trying to say. So guys, I want to thank you all for tuning in with myself and Stelios and Dale. And I know Dale's got his interview today. This is a new interview, isn't it?
Yes, 2 in a row.
2 in a row. Look
Awesome.
at you.
Yes. Both female traders.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Females are good.
Yeah, they're better.
I like
than men.
Females.
They're better traders.
Yeah, I just want to say, if you guys want to learn how to get into the Forex Analytics program for free for several months, open a Pepperstone account. If you're outside of US or Canada, you can qualify to get Forex Analytics Premium for free. You get it 2 months initially when you open up an account, and then you get another 2 months if you trade. How much currency, Stelios? Isn't it
$5,000?
5 standard lots, isn't it?
Yeah.
Five standard lots for
50 grand.
500K. Some of you guys will
500K.
do that in your sleep in 3 or 4 trades. So then
how about this, Blake? I'm a pepper, you're a pepper, I'm a pepper stone.
That's awesome, Dale. Love it. Forest Park FX, there are other webinar sponsors. Make sure that you reach out to them. Actually, we had a couple of traders that were struggling with some of their brokerage firms, and they're not even Forest Park FX customers. And they just this last week, and they're reaching out to them. I mean, look, these guys are partners with us, and they'll answer your questions, even if you decide not to go with one of their brokers. So just contact them on Skype or email right here on our Forex sponsor page. If you have any questions about your broker, or, if you're getting, if you're with the right broker, or if you feel like you're paying too much money, and fees, and they'll just answer those types of questions for you. So they're really great resource to have. All right, Dale, I'm going to turn it over to you.
To the law? You
To the
turn
law.
me over?
You
Turn
are
me
the
in?
law. I'm gonna turn you in, and you're gonna go in shackles to Tent City. We call it Tent City over here. We're gonna put you.
Oh
in a
yeah, I
pink
saw
jumpsuit.
that. Yeah, when Sheriff Joe would make them live out there. Yeah.
I've known several people that have had one beer, and
lived out there.
barely blow a 0.001 or whatever it is, and have been taken to Tent City for 2 weeks.
Wow. And
doing
especially
that.
in the summer,
that's
there's
what
no air
happens here in
conditioning.
the Wild West. What?
No air conditioning in those tents.
Oh no, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's,
No.
that's
All right.
pretty
See you
rough.
guys later.
All right. Jennifer, welcome to Face. I'm so glad we found a way for you to get in here. I'm looking forward to meeting you and hearing you. And
you know what it was? I was trying to log in from my phone, and it
oh,
wasn't for some reason.
Oh, that's what it was all these months, trying to do it from your phone. Okay. All right. Have you used Zoom before, Jennifer?
Yeah, so I'm just going to start the video, right?
Or share
that
the
what I
screen if you want to show your charts and what you look at in the markets. Do you want to do that? Do you trade off charts?
I do trade off charts.
You just want to do an audio interview and not show anything? Picture speaks 1,000 words, so maybe I should have prepared you better.
I don't know how. I've never shared a screen before.
All right, you
so
see
I'm
the
not
green
really
box
sure
that says share screen? It's a drop-down menu and it's a share screen.
Oh,
It's a
yeah,
green
yeah,
box.
okay.
You click that and then you decide which screen to share and start sharing. And then we'll see your setup.
Okay. Screen share. So I'll share this one.
Here we go.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right.
What kind of platform is that?
Thinkorswim.
Oh, okay. All right. So before we get to the
Can I see?
markets, yeah, we can see it and see all the things that you're watching on both sides and a chart in the middle. So Jennifer, I want to ask you, what was the genesis for your career in trading? What were you doing beforehand and how did you get involved in it? How long ago was that too?
So December will be 4 years that I'm trading, so I'm very new.
Okay.
I am actually an insurance broker, and I had my second child, and I just couldn't juggle working and the 2 kids and all of that at the same time. So I was kind of looking for something to do at home, and I dabbled in different things. And then my brother-in-law wound up passing away, unfortunately, very young. And we knew that he was trading, but we didn't know like how much into it he was. And then, you know, when you don't really know much about the stock market and you hear about trading stocks, you always think it's like for people who have a lot of money, you know, you don't think
Right.
that traders are like everyday people. So after he passed away and my husband and his family were going through his stuff, they saw that he was day trading, swing trading, and he was, you know, pretty involved in it. And my husband was talking to me about it. And that's when Bitcoin first hit like 17,000 or whatever it was. So my
Okay,
husband was
yeah, a
like,
few years
"You should buy
ago.
Bitcoin."
Yeah.
Right. So that was like three and a half years ago. So my husband was like, "Oh, we need to buy Bitcoin." So that was actually the first thing I ever bought was Bitcoin at 17,000.
And what do you
Um,
didn't ride it to 3, did you?
I
3,000?
did. I stayed in. Yep.
Okay.
I
Wow.
was like, whatever, I put the money in, let's see where it goes. Wrote it down to 3, wrote it back up to 60. I'm still in. Crypto, I don't really mess with. I get in and I hold
Sit.
it. And
You're
that's it.
hold on for dear life. Right?
Right. Only with crypto, not with
Okay.
regular so then after Bitcoin, I started reading about the stock market, and I started dabbling in pennies and options, and you know, lost money, you know, made some good
Okay.
trades here and there, but lost money trying to find my way. Joined different groups on Facebook, and then found the Twitter community, and yeah, just watched other traders and picked up things here and there and found
Did
what
you have a
works for
mentor?
me. And not really. I just, you know, the trading community is so helpful. You have, you know, people out there who have paid services and things like that, but then you have other people who are just willing to share their charts and show you how they trade and what they look for and things like that. There was this one guy on Facebook. I can't remember his name actually. It was a Facebook group I was in called The Firm. And
Oh, Tom Cruise.
he actually,
Oh no, that was a movie.
no,
That was a
started
movie,
with
The
a
Firm.
D, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that's he taught me about the 20 EMA. Like if a stock is below the 20 EMA, once it closes above that 20 EMA, get in and hold on to it for a while. And it does work most of the time where you watch that 20 EMA, if it's under it, get in as soon as it closes over it, and then ride it up to the next resistance level. So that's kind of what I do. And I've also found my own system now that I've been day trading a lot and short swings and things like that, where price action is big in my trading, the RSI, the MACD,
Okay.
candles.
Any books
So-
that were influential?
No, I've
All right, you're
never,
pretty much self-taught and you got lucky
yeah,
because I mean, you really do need to have discernment on the internet for learning how to trade because there are a lot of scams. A lot of people saying they could sell you the secret. What do you think the secret is to trading, Jennifer?
I think
Yeah,
that
for you.
there's a ton of different secrets. It depends how you trade, what you like to trade, how long you like to stay in positions. There's so many different ways to trade. And I think that
Yeah.
that's something very important to learn
You
because
know what I think is a
you can,
secret?
what?
There is none. It's just hard work
Well,
and
right.
living through adversity. And if that scares you, find something else to do. So, but
I
a
agree.
lot of people try and sell a secret. I mean, I have methods, but it's not a secret. You know, like Solomon said, there really is nothing new under the sun. So, okay, so you're
And your
self-taught.
method may work for you, but not for
Right,
me, and vice
right.
versa. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. So, I see you like the Boley bands and volume and why don't you tell us how you RSI is one of my things. How do you use it? Just for overbought, oversold? What
No,
else
so, like
messages?
I'll look, for instance, BA here, if you can see where I'm trying to find like a trend line, what it would dip to,
Yeah,
where
I
it
see.
bounces off of, where the RSI comes down to. I look for that, along with, and then I mix it in with the candle. Where's the wick? Is the wick pushing down? Is the wick pushing up? I will a lot of times get out of a trade when it hits the top of the Bollinger Band because a lot of times once it hits, like you could see here, then you have a red day, but it did gap up the next day. Boeing's not really a great example because it has a lot of news that plays into it. So, but for the most part, I will find where the RSI bounces, get in there, and then
Is the
ride it up to
MACD
the
a
next.
trigger? MACD a trigger for you? Crosses when they
I
cross
like to
or
see
fail
it
to?
yes, yep. And then, like I said, also volume. I messed with options for a while, and I was just, I'd get a good one here and there. I'd build my account up, and then the market would drop for a few days in a row, and then I'd be in options and not cut my loss, which is something I still struggle with to this day. And I'd lose everything that I had made for the week or for the
Yeah.
past 2 weeks. So I stopped with the options and I went to strictly buying shares. And that's when my account really took off. It really made me consistently profitable when I switched from options to shares.
Okay.
I
And
just,
do you
because
play longs, the short side of shares or are you long only?
no, only long. I
Okay.
don't go short on anything.
Okay. And so you really, would you say it took you 4 years to finally make a breakthrough? You said your account's doing better. And I always ask people how long it took for them to make a breakthrough and have a statement like you just made that,
So
your
it's
account's
about
doing well.
2.5 years it took me to finally find
Okay.
my way. And
Oh,
I don't know if you saw my last post last week. I just came off like a trading break because when we had that last dip in the market, um, again, I struggle with cutting loss and I didn't cut my loss and my account just dropped and I watched it drop and drop and drop. Um, but that's the thing with shares. So I didn't I didn't wind up selling anything. I just sat through it and waited for it to come back. And now my account is back where it was before that dip that we had. So I don't recommend doing that
yeah.
because I'd have a lot more money if I would have just cut my loss and then bought the dip. But I did, and mentally, I needed to take a break to just sit through that and get my confidence back and get back in there. And so I've been back
Well, let
trading
me
like a
ask you
week.
this. Let me coach you. because I've heard this a couple times about not wanting to take a loss, and everyone can relate to it. I mean, if something's a great buy at 10, it's an even better buy at 5, and average out and double up. I've seen or done almost every mistake that someone can make. So when you have a plan to trade Boeing or any other issue, do you journal and write down why you're getting in the trade, where you're wrong on the trade? Say you're trading a bully band and it takes out the bully band support, that's your contingency. I think that if there's a difference between just staring at a chart and writing something down. It has something to do with neuro-linguistic programming. That if you write down where you're wrong on a trade and say get out, so before you even get into the trade where you're wrong, that you'll I would think now, after watching this happen, fighting a trade, that you may, once you form a new habit of getting out of a trade that the contingency that got you in, I don't know, I use divergences and formations, and I know when I get in where I'm wrong. I also know if I'm right, what I'm looking for. So that'll give me the risk to reward on it, right? And I look for at least 2 to 1. So, why don't you try writing down where you're wrong on the trade? And if you see the market, you probably don't trade with hard stops in stocks, and it's probably, the problem might be a mental stop. And then you just, it would be better if you had something in the market to limit your risk so that you don't have to react to it and do it.
And
but
you're right,
the market does
because
it.
I don't use stops, and a lot of people think that that's very foolish, and it might be because, like you said, I have a mental stop, and then when it gets to that point, mentally I'm like, oh no, but it might bounce and come back. Where if I
Right.
actually had the stop to take me out, then
Right.
it would help
Try
me.
that for a while, and I think you're gonna not have to start from scratch again. And I have an expression about mental stops. The last time I used a mental stop, my first stop was a mental institution.
It's
Okay.
true, because mentally it messes with you.
Yeah. I'm so glad we had this interview. What's on your radar here with stocks approaching new all-time highs, and what's a long only trader going to do if we ever have a bear market?
Well, I don't stay in for that long. That's the thing.
Oh,
I'm
that's
kind
right.
of,
You're day trading. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
right.
day trade short swing. So like yesterday I picked up Boeing. I picked up RCL. I added to my win position because a lot of the travel stocks went down because of the Delta variant scare. So, BA gapped up this morning. I'm already out because I don't really like what the market's doing right now. And
Okay.
I actually have a play date today at 11 that I'm hosting.
Okay.
I'm a
Yeah.
mom too, so we got to
Yeah,
balance.
mom before traders. One of our guests here is asking, I don't know why, wants me to ask you what you think about the Great Reset, capital WEF. Do you have an opinion on? I'm not even sure. It means different things to different people. Do you
The
have a
great
view on that?
reset, like the big stock market tank that everybody's talking about. Is that
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
It includes currencies and everything. Anyway, that I thought maybe she was a follower of yours. Oh, the World Economic Forum, Forex Gal is asking. Okay, so do you teach people and work with people? Why are you on Twitter?
For
Because I noticed
community, I
you
don't
don't have a
really.
web. Yeah, because you're
I don't.
lonely.
I'm lonely now. I don't have anybody in real life that I trade with that trades. So I have nobody to talk stocks with. And then,
All right.
I bring it up to my girlfriend and they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. So it's
Yeah.
just pretty much to bounce ideas and I'm definitely not lonely. I'm married with 2 kids. and I got a lot
I
going.
meant during trading, Jennifer. All right. Anyway, you know what you may want to do is start or find a good community, surround yourself with traders better than you. And we're always learning. It's an ongoing process. I've been doing it 40 years and I'm finally getting the hang of it. Okay,
Yeah, you're
so
always learning and trading.
yeah,
Absolutely.
you are. You're always, I mean, you're growing or you're dying, Jennifer. So, there are good communities, or you could start your own, and that way, we only have two eyeballs, right? So,
Right.
other good traders might point your eye in the right direction. You should consider, we're not big stock traders here at Forex Analytics, but I would suggest that I'm a big believer in communities because it's part of my intelligence gathering. What people's work I respect, I pay attention to it. It doesn't mean I blindly take their trades, but it kind of gives me a feel and opens me up to new ideas.
And it's great to have another point of view. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just like life. You could see things from your point of view, but you might not see it from other people's point of views. And that's how I've kind of formed my own trading, is just taking bits and pieces from other people's and
yeah,
putting it into my own. And I still have so much to learn,
you do,
so
and
much to learn.
that's exciting. And I really commend you for being a maverick and attempting this, and now starting to master it. If you can just work on your risk management,
I know.
your girls will be able to go to Harvard or anywhere else they want to go. It'll be easy
Yeah.
to pay that
Well,
tuition
they know
check.
when I turn my laptop on, they call it my money maker. Mommy's turning her money maker on
Oh,
because it's
okay.
time.
All right. Well, do you want people to follow you on Twitter, Jennifer? Is
Yeah,
you
they
want
are
me?
for sure.
Okay, so why don't you your be yourself at be yourself 200? Is that it?
Ye Yes, that's it.
Okay, and why be yourself? Have you tried to be someone else?
No, I just see a lot of fakeness going on Twitter out there. If
Yeah,
I know you
you know,
follow me, I don't know if you see my post, but I like to speak my mind a lot. I like to
oh,
be myself.
be
So
yourself.
a lot of people,
You know what?
well,
I
yeah,
have a
some
lot
people
of
don't like.
people on Twitter setting up fake accounts that are trying to be me. So I hope they get their take what you say, your handle, to
And just be
heart.
themselves.
Be
Don't
yourself.
care what anybody thinks. Exactly. Just be
Yeah.
who you are.
You know what? I think you have all the ingredients. I think you have all the ingredients, and once you handle risk management, you're going to be an even better champ. Yeah, an even better champion in the market. So I also
Thanks so much,
appreciate
Jeff.
your bravery for coming on to be interviewed. A lot of people fear public speaking more than death. So, for you to come on shows that you have confidence in what you're doing and you're not afraid to talk about it. And I'm now a fan, and you're now my trading warrior sister. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for
Thank
dropping
you so
in.
much.
Yeah, it was really nice meeting you, talking to you. And if there's anything I could do to help you on the road, let me know. And that's it. Um, I want to thank you for, you know, uh, spending some of your most valuable currency with us today, and that's time. Thank you very much, Jennifer. Good hunting to you.
Thank you. Have a great day and happy trading today.
All right. Everyone, you could follow Jennifer at Be Yourself 200. And maybe this could be the beginning. You want to hang out and share ideas with Jennifer. Maybe you want some help from Jennifer and her ideas, or you want to collaborate. That's how you could get it done. So that's a wrap for Turnaround Tuesday, everybody. Have a great day. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. Everyone's thanking you, Jennifer. Appreciate it. And good hunting. Hope that
Thank you. Have a good day.
hope profits rain down on you, Jennifer.
Me too.
All right. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Adios, everyone. See you tomorrow. And you could join the team for Morning Edge in 21 minutes. Adios.